Well, the next part of our program is the Tech Chats, and this is a signature event for Silicon Dragon where we showcase leading-edge entrepreneurs from various technology sectors. And we've chosen four entrepreneurs from leading Hong Kong-based startups to come on stage one by one and be interviewed about their milestones and opportunities and challenges of ramping up, of building up a startup, and also a little bit about the entrepreneur's career background. And we have two moderators for this next section. We have Iain Reed, the president of TieHK Hong Kong, and we have Napoleon Biggs, the founder of Web Wednesday. All right. For the next part of our program, I'd like to welcome to the stage Johnny Quattro, the founder and CEO of MiQ Limited, and also Iain Reed of TieHK Hong Kong. So why don't you come up here and take a seat and be comfortable. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I want to know who's Jonathan.
Johnny.
Good afternoon. Two.
Okay.
Am I sitting here or what?
I'll go there.
Can I chill on the couch?
Yeah.
Two.
Johnny Q. Maybe we can sit next to each other. Should you next to each other? No.
Next to you.
You don't sit next to me. So, Johnny Q.
How's it going? Hello, everybody.
Hi.
How's it going? Thank you very much for having me at this lovely event. Those lights are way too bright. Anyway, Iain.
So the format here is we're gonna talk a little bit about sort of Johnny's background, a little bit about his technology, and then we've only got 15 minutes. So I don't think we've got time for questions. But so Johnny, let's sort of start. So I understand that in TieHK Hong Kong, we talk a lot about the startup matrix. We talk about taking the red pill. But I understand you are a child of Zion, that you've never done the corporate thing. So tell me, when did you decide you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
When I was about 8 years old.
I thought so.
I was sitting in my bedroom playing the guitar, and I remember my parents was like, okay, here's a guitar, we're going to take you to a lesson. And I went to one lesson and I absolutely hated it, and I just couldn't believe this teacher was trying to teach me something, and I was really upset about it. And I said, I don't want to play this thing anymore. I never want to touch this thing anymore. And they said, okay. And they didn't pressure me, and the guitar sat in the corner in the closet, and then I think I just picked it up on my own, and I sat on my bed and I was listening to music, and I was learning. And then several years later, an uncle had showed me one song, and that was it. And I just was learning how to play music just from scratch. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to be working. I'm just going to continue to play music my whole life. Little did I know that wasn't the case, but...
So then, you obviously went off and got an engineering degree, as you do, and, I'm sure you had lots of job offers, but, what did you do after that?
Well, I was in school. My parents were amazing. They were, incredibly, just beautiful people. They are beautiful people, and they supported me all the way through my whole life and let me do whatever I wanted to do, and said, it's your life. You go and shape it the way you want. And I remember I was in high school, and I was a very natural when it came to mathematics, and I never studied and not math, and so all my friends got into university and they got into engineering. So I said, I'm going to go to engineering too. I want to try it out. So I was there for 5 years, and I majored with a structural engineering degree and a computer science degree. And there were a lot of job offers came from that for sure. But I didn't take any.
But you got into snowboarding, I understand.
I was really passionate about surfing and snowboarding. I grew up on the beach in Australia, and so I traveled around the world and, thought, oh my God, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to travel and I want to see the world. And I thought that would be a good enough job, right? To just travel and do whatever I want,
Sounds good, doesn't it?
So far the story sounds good. It's going to get worse, don't worry. And then I was actually on a mountain in Canada, and I remember being on a very high peak with a friend of mine, and we were climbing this peak, and then we were going to go snowboarding down. And what happened was I was coming down the mountain. This was like in the 90s, and my board broke, and it was a real dangerous situation because it was a life and death situation, and we managed to get out of there safely. But my friend of mine said to me, you're an engineer. Why don't you do something about this? Why don't you actually make snowboards? Because you probably know how to do it. So I said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And I did. And I started a company, a snowboard engineering company. And it lasted about 15 to 17 years. And we were the leaders in technical engineering for snowboarding, skiing, wakeboarding, skateboarding, surfing. And then we invented the kite surfboard, and our company did that.
So a real through and through entrepreneur, and then somehow the whole guitar thing got involved in California at some point, didn't it? You invented something.
That's where everything went all bad. I was working in California. Our company ended up being based in Los Angeles, just south of Los Angeles, and I was invited to play at a music show in San Francisco, and it was a big affair. It was like 30,000 people at this show, and I was a friend because of the surfing connection. And I was a friend, and I was invited to strum a few chords on stage because I was this kid that knew how to play guitar, and everyone was like, come on, Johnny, come and play some songs with us. So I got up on stage, and, I was invited up, and I was introduced, and I had no musical training. So when the next song, I'd played a couple of songs and everything was going great, suddenly the next song was a song that I didn't know, and I didn't know what key it was in, and so I had no idea what to do.
You didn't actually know what a key was.
I didn't even know what a key was. I was just playing by ear, right? So I completely fumbled, and I thought, I cannot embarrass this guy. He's like a legend, right? So I just turned the volume down, and I just air guitared through the song. And I just was happy and strumming away, and the crowd is cheering and this is amazing, and everybody on stage knew that I was faking it, right?
Yes.
But the crowd had no idea. They were just happy, because they were jumping around. And anyway, that was such an embarrassing moment that I thought I better learn how to play music really. And I went into my sort of space, my inventive space, and I created this little tool that was like this wheel, like a colour wheel, like a colour chart wheel. But I called it the music wheel. And it was just this paper wheel that ended up being an invention, a true invention, and I got a patent for it.
Did you have a patent on? You still got the original paper wheel, I understand.
I still
you should
do.
frame that.
I should.
But it's now available for the iPhone, I understand.
Well, that's what happened. I thought to myself, this is such a really cool tool that I thought maybe other people would be interested in it as well, and other people would benefit from it. And I thought there's got to be a way that I can get this to the world. Yeah. And I thought the fastest way to get it to the world, the fastest way to get it to market and actually really make something is to make an app. Yeah. And so I started an app company.
So how many downloads did the original app have?
Almost 2 million.
Okay, excellent.
In a couple of years.
And then you came across another idea, a real problem that needed solving, right? Tell us a little bit about that, the player.
Yeah, well, see, this wheel is a really fundamental tool for songwriters and creators, people that are actually interested in writing songs. But when I was a kid learning how to play, I wasn't interested in theory. I was interested in the song. I loved the song. I loved the artists like, Eric Clapton or Jimi Hendrix. I was a big fan of those guys. Yeah. And I thought, the way most Western cultures and most kind of contemporary people learn music is not by going to school or sitting in a classroom. It's actually by learning their favourite music. It's playing a song from their favourite artist. And I thought, why don't we develop an app that creates your entire library where you can see all your music, and when you press the song, it analyses the song and spits out in real time all the chords for that song and shows you the finger position for whatever instrument.
Brilliant idea. So you just went and coded that yourself, or
No.
No?
We have a team. So this app company that I started, Jammin, it's called. We have a team in Hong Kong. They're based in Hong Kong. They're amazing young kids. I found them out at Science Park. Sorry, Science Park. I know it's a little, but
We're all friends in Hong Kong.
Sorry, Herman. But I found them out there in Science Park at the school, and I went out there with my guitar and I sat there and I kind of like lured these young kids to come and work for me, and they said, okay, let's do it, and we made that first app. So we're now a team around Hong Kong of around about, I guess collectively everybody that's involved in our team is around about 20 people, and we've about 3 engineers that are working on our products.
And then, so how's it going, the player? How many downloads have you had?
It's been on the market 3 months. We've almost 1 million, and there's an interesting number attached to it actually, because learning songs, there's one sort of foundational website on the internet which is for casual players, and it has in its database about 800,000 songs, which it's taken about 15 years to accumulate. Yeah. Our app has processed over 1.2 million songs in 3 months. So I think that we're on a path of actually developing a real product for a mass market.
It's very exciting. And I understand you had an event last week at the Apple shop. So yeah. That's quite exciting. Apple are behind you on this?
Yeah, they love it. They love what we're doing. And on Friday last week, we did a giant... We took over the store at Causeway Bay, and we had this jam and session, we call it. It's a new part of our business that we're going to start developing, and we brought in local artists, like Hong Kong artists that are up and coming, that have just released music on iTunes, and we've brought our team in, and we did this like real-time live streaming thing with our app playing in the background and these artists jamming in the foreground, and we had this giant live session in the Apple store. We took over the entire floor of one of their stores in Causeway, and it was incredible. We stole the show.
Excellent. No, it's very good. So you're taking that on the road now?
We're taking that on the road.
Yeah?
So
you didn't get to be a pop star, but you're sort of going on the road.
It's kind of weird, right? Like, always wanted to be a rock star, but now I'm going to be doing it through people around me. So yeah, it's great.
And then tell me, have you got anything else bubbling in the pipeline there? You got any other ideas, other problems that need solving in the music world? Are
you trying to extract something out of me, or some information or something? What do you think I'm going to tell you, our secrets? Well, there is a big problem to solve, to be honest, and I think we're set up to do it, and it actually has to do with learning. Education, there's this fancy term in the tech world called ed tech. And it's like developing education technology, that can improve. And I really genuinely believe in that. I think it's essential, to bring technology and education together. But the essence of education is not to educate us, but actually to learn. Yeah. So I think that, we need to develop something that allows everybody, all of us, everybody in this room, because we love music. We listen to music on our smartphones almost every single day. And I believe that there's something that we can do to bring learning to the listening experience. And so while we listen to music, I think that we can actually learn something. And so that's our next mission.
Very exciting. So Jammin Player is the name of the app. Look for it on the App Store on Apple. JAMN Player, because sometimes people spell it wrong. Put your hands together for Johnny.
Thanks, everybody.
So are you going to bring one of those sessions to Silicon Dragon?
Thank you, thank you.
I mean, if I would have known, we could have done one of those jam sessions here,
if
right?
everyone's got a guitar, I'll show you how it works.
Next time. Yeah. Yeah. And I also understand you've raised some financing, right? From Mind Fund?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mind Fund, amazing. Adam Lindemann, he's here in Cyberport actually.
Yeah.
Well, he's not here today, but he's
here in spirit.
He's here in spirit. He's jumping on a plane from Malaysia right now back here, and we're partnered with Adam and Yat Siu from Outblaze.
Great.
Two amazing guys. Two absolutely amazing guys. Like they're so dedicated, so passionate, and like honestly, like if it wasn't for it's almost like, when you have great parents that sort of say, yeah, just go and just test it, just go and enjoy yourself and figure something out. You'll get there, right? We have faith in you. Adam and Yat instill that in me. As an entrepreneur that I'm trying to figure out this space and trying to figure out a business model and trying to develop, large scale revenue opportunity, all those buzzwords, right? Adam and Yat, the underlying essence behind those guys and me is the faith. They say, we trust you. You're a great leader. Just go and do it. And I think it's fantastic. And I, wouldn't have had the opportunity if I didn't come here to Cyberport to meet them.
Great.
So thank you.
Great. All right. Let's give Iain and Johnny a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Okay. Good.
Nice to meet you. Absolutely. There we go.